Hello Trailblazers, welcome to today's ISV series episode where we have as our product SurveyVista, a long-standing AppExchange app for platform-native data collection. And our speaker will be its founder and CEO, Rajesh Unadkat. We are having an intro first, then a live demo, which is the heart of the event. And we are also having time for Q&A at the end. Please put your questions in the QA channel if possible. We are doing this in collaboration with user groups around the world. Thank you so much for doing this with us. There is also a raffle included in this event, so please make sure to stay until when it happens. With that, I hand over to our guest speaker, Rajesh. The stage is yours.
All right, thanks. Thanks, René. Let me share my screen. All right, you can see my screen, correct?
Yep, that works.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Today, we are talking about something that keeps admins up at night, like data security, integration, failures, and preparing for AI adoption. I am Rajesh, founder of SurveyVista. I have been in Salesforce ecosystem since last 15 plus years, helping organizations build secure, scalable data collection systems inside Salesforce. What we are covering today is trust theory, or it's not just the theory, but it's practical architecture that protects your data while setting up you for the AI future, where data is one of the most important aspect, right? Like I said, I'm in Salesforce ecosystem since 15 plus years, working with trailblazers like you to kind of learn, educate, and keep improving our products. I generally specialize in data survey design, agentic AI, and any Salesforce app development side of it. At the end of the session today, I'm going to pick two winners. Each will win US $100 gift card. So here is the QR code. You can scan it and enter for the raffle prize. Here is the today's agenda. To save some time, not going to talk about agenda here, but we'll have the more time spending learning and Q&A at the end after the product demo. Okay, so let's talk about the security reality, right? To give you an idea, right, we had a booth at Dreamforce, and do you know what was the key topic customers and executives were asking me at the Dreamforce? It was about security, and it definitely makes sense, where we have seen hundreds of Salesforce customers getting breached and spending a lot of money to fix those breach, right? So that security is one of the key topic which I have been hearing lately, especially at the Dreamforce when I was talking to customers, prospects, and executives. I'm sure everyone knows it's uncomfortable truth. External apps creates data silos. It introduces sync delays. It introduces compliance risks that most teams don't realize until it's too late, right? So with recent high-profile security breaches, we have learned that most of the breaches are because of the external integration, right? And because with the external integration, your data leaves Salesforce, so you lose control on your customer data, you lose context because data is not right there where your other team members are working and when they need the data. And then you lose trust, right? So if you get a security breach, you will lose trust from your customers. So So that's the kind of the today's data reality, right? Now, you may ask, like, why does it matter, right? Why the native architecture? Why we need to think about utilizing native applications? Because the native application makes sure that data never leaves your Salesforce. You don't have to worry about API syncs. You don't have to worry about integration breaking. You don't have to worry about external storage where your data is copied and sitting in there, right? Which will typically introduce breaches. Right? The other thing is native apps inherits Salesforce security model, right? So you get all the existing sharing rules and role-based security and field level encryption and whatever the Salesforce offers you at the security layer, you inherit that with the native applications. And because of that, it helps you with the compliance, or you inherit the compliance also from the Salesforce, like GDPR, HIPAA, and other standards are built in automatically in the native applications. And the important thing from the business perspective, right, for your business users, right, you get a single source of truth where everything lives in your Salesforce, your CRM data, whatever the data collected by that application, could be feedback data with SurveyVista or any application you are using. And it is secured by the same framework, so your customers gets the same level of security as you get it from Salesforce, right? The now security aspect is one thing, right? And then you also get the business benefits, right? Like it's a no-code enablement, means admin can build without waiting for developers, right? So a lot of configuration customization admin can do using point-and-click interfaces available in Salesforce, as well as I'm sure the native applications like SurveyVista, we do provide a lot of point-and-click configuration. It gives you lower cost because you are leveraging a single platform, you are leveraging your existing skill set, and you don't need to worry about getting external licenses and managing those external licenses for external applications. Now, you will also get the unified analytics, which can give you the real-time visibility without worrying about connectors or exporting, importing data from other systems. And definitely you get the centralized governance on your IT infrastructure. So you eliminate shadow IT, no more somebody installing external apps or integrating with external apps in your system and so on. Now, let's talk about the design principles of the native applications. Like, so let's talk architecture. Like effectively, native data capture starts with building central forms and surveys, which stores the response data right there in your Salesforce and integrates with or automatically connects with your existing Salesforce records. You don't have to do any coding and so on, right? It also gives you built-in form element validation and automation, and optionally you can utilize existing Salesforce technologies like for flows for validation, automation, and approvals, right? Again, no coding required. With the native, you can also enable the audit trail and field history tracking. Like you can use the Salesforce Shield, same technology which you might be using for your other apps and data, and the same Salesforce Shield you can use to enable the field level encryption and so on. And because it's native, architecture scales from small non-profits to global enterprises. Everybody is using the same platform and so on, right? So you don't have to worry about the third-party apps. So that those were kind of benefits of the native applications and security and all. Now, what are the best practices for the smarter data collection, right? You need to make sure that you follow certain best practices, which will help you improve your user experience while maintaining securities, right? So some of the things like conditional logic and dynamic branching, which will help you reduce the survey fatigue. And now, what is the dynamic branching, right? So generally, in the non-native apps, you can build the conditional logic like, hey, if somebody answers this question to yes, ask them this question, otherwise ask them another question, right? With the dynamic logic, you can look at existing data in your Salesforce, right? And then decide the journey for your customers. Give you an example, like if you send a survey to a contact, if the context title in the Salesforce is CXO, you can define that, hey, if it's a CXO, I'm going to ask these 2 business-related questions. But if the context title is project manager, it will ask this another 2 project-related or technical aspects of the questions versus the business question. So native application can definitely give you the better insights and better way to create the dynamic journey for your customers. Though of course you can utilize the file uploads and e-signatures which are built into the application, so you don't have to worry about external document or e-signature tools and so on. You'll be able to mask the fields to protect sensitive inputs during data entry. So make sure that if you are asking for social security number, the field is masked. So when somebody enters that, somebody standing behind him cannot see what is being entered, right? And of course, utilize the progress tracking and validation rules to make sure the quality of data is controlled at the source, right? You make sure the data you are collecting, it is validated before it gets into your Salesforce, right? And that way you can keep your data ready for the AI, right? Okay, all right. So that's like what are the benefits of going for the native applications and so on. Now let's look at what is SurveyVista, right? So SurveyVista is a feedback management and data collection platform built entirely on Salesforce. That means all your feedback data or any type of data you collect, right? Whether it is from surveys or forms or in-app experiences or assessments and quizzes also, we let you build it. Right, all this data lives securely inside your Salesforce org. No worry about data syncing delays or no worry about integration and so on. SurveyVista supports organizations across industries to collect feedback, integrate into Salesforce workflows with no code, understand insights in real time because there is no sync delays, and then we let you act on that data or act on the feedback you collect. It could be automated action. You can configure that, hey, if somebody gives me bad feedback, I'm going to immediately create a task or a case in the system and have somebody work on it, right? So all these things we SurveyVista lets you, it enables you to do without adding operational complexity or integration overhead, right? So in short, what we tell customers that, hey, SurveyVista turns feedback into automated actions that drives your business results. Right? SurveyVista is more than just a survey tool, right? It's flexible native Salesforce app used by teams across organizations. Like, so we have customer experience team using to collect customer experience data or feedback data like customer satisfaction score or net promoter scores and so on. We have HR teams using it for employee experience feedback and data, right? The marketing teams are using for landing pages and creating some lead generation forms and so on. RevOps are using for win-loss analysis or opportunity scoring or lead scoring kind of things, right? And then definitely there are other groups like compliance group uses for variety of checklists and so on. We have several non-profit customers are using for a variety of data collections, could be just a student registration or event registration, or we have advanced functionality which are used by non-profits for like grant approval workflows or grant application collection and approval workflows and so on. So in a nutshell, it's one application with endless possibilities. So you can utilize it for a variety of use cases around surveys, questionnaires, and forms. At SurveyVista, what we target is, or what is our goal is to help you transform your business processes, capture meaningful insights and data, and then configure automated actions or notify somebody to act on it, and then achieve your business results to make sure your business is growing in the right direction, your customers are getting better user experience, and they are happy. Not going to talk too much here, but it's like native plus we have about 200 5-star reviews now. So what we are saying is like, hey, if you go with the native application and customer recommended or user recommended applications, you will get a peace of mind, right? So that's one of the key things we say. And then because it's native, you will get all this compliance and security protection. Now, why do many organizations choose SurveyVista? Right. The first of all, it's an easy but powerful platform. 100% native. We have very powerful, rich features set, so you can implement simple to complex use cases. It lets you create branded surveys and forms, so you can make sure that your branding will carry over from your customers to user experience kind of things, right? Second, it delivers you rich insights, right? So we have something called response mapping. So data you collect with surveys forms can be automatically mapped to your underlying Salesforce records, could be standard or custom objects records. This gives you an unified view of your customer feedback data alongside with your CRM data, right? So just feedback data itself is important, but when you get insights along with the feedback data, it gives you better insights, and you can prioritize where to focus to make sure your business improves in the right direction. And like I said, on the security front, right, it's 100% native. You get the various compliance standards inherited from Salesforce, like HIPAA, GDPR, SOC 2, FedRAMP, and so on. We offer you transparent and affordable pricing. We offer you non-metered pricing. Like many other competitive tools will ask you to pay per response kind of thing, where we give you non-metered, unlimited responses and so on, right? So that's one of the another key reason customers are choosing SurveyVista. And then the last but not least is our stellar support, right? If you look at our AppExchange review, and I will show you one of the survey and analytics which we imported from AppExchange review for SurveyVista, you will see that all the reviews are talking about our product and our support, right? That, hey, the product is great, but the team behind the product who is supporting, that's also great. Not only they are great, but they are knowledgeable on SurveyVista, as well as they are knowledgeable on Salesforce platform. So we can help you resolve all the issues or any issues you run into while implementing and deploying SurveyVista. We have several customers using it, from small, less than 5-10 people, non-profit organization, to larger enterprises and larger non-profits like UNICEF, Intel, Coursera, Flixbus in Europe, eBay is using us, and so on. Right. And another thing is we are investing more and more on AI now, right? Not just to keep up with the trend, but to fundamentally transform how organizations manage feedback and collect data, right? Our goal is to make it smarter, faster, and more impactful process to collect feedback and data. So that's why we, in that Dreamforce, we introduced AgentVista, which is a SurveyVista co-pilot for intelligent surveys, forms, and assessments, which is powered by AgentForce. So one of the key thought process we have it is, we do not want to go and connect to the AI infrastructure directly from SurveyVista. We want to utilize and power it by AgentForce. The key reason is because AgentForce gives you security layer, so you can get the benefits of that security out of the box with SurveyVista, and we don't have to build that trust layer or security infrastructure ourselves, which helps in for us reducing the investment we do. At the same time, it makes customer comfortable that, hey, they have to only worry about one security layer when they think about utilizing AI, right? Now, Agent Vista, what we have done it is we started bringing you features like generating surveys using a prompt, right? Or using Gen AI actions to distribute survey or get deeper insights from the survey data you collect, right? So that's where we are investing more and more now on the AI, right? And Agent Vista is kind of a SurveyVista Copilot. All right, so I think I covered a lot of things about why native data collection is important and what is SurveyVista. Let me get on to the demo. Let me bring up my SurveyVista app. So you can see my SurveyVista app here now. This one, if you are working on Salesforce, so you will see this screen is a familiar screen, right? So we have SurveyVista app. Some of the tabs are SurveyVista related tabs and some are standard Salesforce functionality, right? Here you see the list of surveys in the system which you have built. You can create variety of list views here, as you know, right? The marketing surveys versus customer success surveys and all. And with the underlying security model and how you have configured the authorization for SurveyVista using permission sets we provide, the user who is using SurveyVista will see the relevant surveys and all. They can build a new survey right from here. So I can say build a new survey. Now when you are building the new survey, we'll let you build a survey or a form or
Rajesh, sorry, are you speaking
You're not seeing my app? Sorry.
Are you speaking about the app, because we still see demo time?
Oh, I did not. I thought I shared. Hold on. Let me share. Let me stop sharing and share. I thought I shared my whole screen. Let me just share the whole screen. All right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let me go back here, right? So what I was saying is it will look familiar. It's like a Salesforce screen, right? We have a bunch of our tabs we built in, right, for our functionalities, and then we kind of utilize some of the tabs, the existing Salesforce functionality. The key thing here, you will see the list of surveys. Now, based on how you have configured your authorization using permission sets in SurveyVista, the user will see surveys they can work on, and you can create different list views for marketing surveys and customer support survey or customer success surveys and so on.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you zoom in a bit so that it's more legible?
Sure. Let me. How is it now? Is it good
enough?
Yeah,
that's so much better. Thanks.
All right. So if you want to build a new survey, you click on the new here, right? And you can select building a survey or create a form or create with AI, because I haven't connected the Agent Vista in this demo org. This is disabled, but otherwise you can create with the AI by typing the prompt and all. Right, just to say I want to create a survey. Now, one of the functionality we have it is when you say you want to create a survey, you can start it from scratch, or you can use a design template. So we have a concept called survey design template, where you can define the look and feel for your brandings and what colors you want to use and so on. And once you define that branding and design template, you create a design template, you can use that template. So you don't have to, for every survey, you don't have to go and reconfigure that branding stuff and so on, right? But for the demo, let's say I want to create from scratch, then you can select you want to create a single page survey or normal pagination where one question is presented, or section-based pagination or multiple page survey kind of thing, right? For the simplicity, let's say I'm going to create a single or normal pagination, and I'm going to call it, let's say, the demo survey. I'll just put the date today, right? And click continue. So it created a survey for me and put me in a survey builder, right? So this is where I can start building my survey. In the survey builder, there are a couple of things we have. We call it landing page. So every survey gets a landing page. So you can put some information when somebody goes to your survey or form. They'll see some information that, hey, thanks for your time to respond to our survey. Make sure you do this, that, whatever, right? Whatever. And you can, again, it's a HTML rich text field, so you can brand it whatever way you like. Now, there is a way to disable it. If you don't want this one, you can just go into design options and disable and say, hey, don't display the landing page or show the landing page and so on, right? And then the second component is a thank you page at the end of the survey or form, right? And then you can start building content inside your survey. So I can click add question. Now, we have almost 40 plus question types, right? So there are different types of questions. There are like a bunch of text questions like long text, short text, rich text, and so on. We do provide some compound questions like contact input question, right? That, hey, collect the contact address or collect the full name. So you don't have to create two separate short text questions to get the first name and last name. You can use the full name and so on, right? So let's say I want to use the full name. Then we have choice-based questions like single choice, multiple choice, yes, no, and then there are yes, no grid. So if you want to collect some yes, no input for multiple rows, you can create a grid questions and so on. Let's say from here, I'm going to just select the yes, no. I want to create a yes, no one, right? Then we have a bunch of rating and ranking questions, right? So I can create an NPS question and add it in the system. Then we have some numeric input kind of thing. So you can collect currency. You can also define a formula question using multiple other numeric questions you have collected or currency question you collected. For the sake of it, just use the number from here, right? Then we have a bunch of date and time question. Not only that, we have something called appointment kind of questions. So you can configure your availability for appointment, and somebody can pick a slot out of your available appointments. It's like a Calendly or other calendaring application, but it's not as powerful as Calendly, but it gives you the basic functionality where if you are just opening up a bunch of slots, you configure it and a user can schedule the appointment with you. But let's say I'm going to add a date question, just going to give you an example of one each. Now, this is interesting, the Salesforce data question, right? Like I said in the earlier part in the native aspect that, hey, the native application can utilize your existing Salesforce data. So we let you build certain questions with your existing Salesforce data. So give you an example. If I have a pick list of states, let's say for a simplicity, right? If I want to ask my customer that, hey, pick one of the states from here, and let's say I'm supporting only 5 states today that I have business in 5 locations, let's say, right? Customer will get those 5 states from the pick list as answer choices. Now, tomorrow I open a new branch in 6th state. I can simply go in the pick list and modify the pick list, and you don't have to modify your survey or form built with SurveyVista because it is using Salesforce data questions. So automatically, dynamically, that will be reflected in your survey, right? So we give you a bunch of Salesforce data questions, right? But for, again, example, let's use the single choice. And then bunch of other miscellaneous questions we have like e-signatures and consent question where you can say, hey, put a checkbox and say, hey, I agree and I agree to attest blah, 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 and then put a signature question kind of thing, right? So let's pick one of them. So this is how you will start building the survey content. Now, once you start adding the questions, so one of the things we have is here is the yes, no question I added. I can go and edit this question. I can modify this question. Now, one of the things we have it is we let you utilize your existing Salesforce data for personalization. So I can use some merge field and I can say, hey, I'm going to use context first name in my question, and I can put it here and say, hey, would you like to receive free product offers by email, right? And put their name. So we let you personalize it using existing Salesforce data and expose whatever the data you want to put it in the question. And then there are some response validation rules you can configure for every question, right? So this is how you will update the question. And then you will kind of design the question look and feel, or depending upon type of questions on this panel, you can do certain things. You can say, hey, this question would be mandatory, or you can say it's optional. You can also, we have concept of adding additional comment when somebody responds to your question in a survey or form. You can also collect attachments with it if you like, right? You can mark questions as read-only. So sometimes what happens is question is automatically answered with existing Salesforce data, and you just want to inform the user that, hey, this is what we know about you, or this is what the data says. We are not going to let you change it, right? So you can make it read-only. Sometimes you can even make it hidden. The reason is you automatically answer from Salesforce, and then you build your journey or conditional logic based on that question response. Then you can make it hidden so user doesn't see it, but you are utilizing in defining your customer's survey journey, right? So you can use it hidden and so on. There are other configurations. So if you add a file upload, you can say, hey, what type of file they can upload and all these things. We have custom field support, so you can define custom fields. So if I want to collect something else here along with the question response, I can define custom fields and expose it here and so on, right? And then the key important thing here is design options. So most of the times the design options are one of the key things. Like, hey, if I want, instead of using the left alignment, if I want to do a center alignment, I'll see that this is how the question will be visible to the user. Since this is now design options are dependent on the type of the question. Since this is yes no type questions, there'll be yes no type options, like, hey, instead of yes no, display the true or false, right? Or instead of yes no, display this as a checkbox and so on, right? Then there are other options for the design options, right? We also have the confirmation kind of things. If you want to, once user selects the answer, if you want to throw a confirmation dialog that, hey, are you sure you want to select yes or no, you can do that kind of things. We do have advanced scoring. So if you want to configure some scoring that, hey, if the response, if let's say it's a text response, and you say, hey, if response contains non-native, I want to score it to 0, and if response contains native only, and I want to give the score 100. So those kind of things, depending upon the type of the questions, you can configure the advanced scorings also, right? So just to show you the other question types, right? So if I go into this NPS question, similarly, I can modify the text content, and so I'm sorry, the question text and so on. But if I go in the design options here, because now this is an NPS question, I have different point and click design options, right? So one of the things we say is that sometimes depending upon your the survey objective and your belief in it, you might say that, hey, if I give the color coding, it will bias the response, because people might think that, hey, I want to just show green to the user, right? I want to be green. So you can say, hey, maybe I don't want to use color coding. So you can point and click. Sometimes you can say, hey, I don't want to use squares, I want to give circles, right? Or I want to give the squares with shadow. So depending upon type of the question, we have a lot of built-in design options, and you can design your survey the way you like. Going into this Salesforce data question, right? So you can see this is the Salesforce data question, which is presenting the account type thing here, right? So if I can see here configuration, it says, hey, go to my Salesforce, look at the account object, pick the pick list, pick the field account type pick list, and present options to the user to pick what account type they are talking about, right? And there is a lot of way to configure here, right? You can also include certain things, you can exclude certain things. You can also create the dynamic answer choices using object data kind of thing instead of the pick list, right? So if I want to present a bunch of objects, I can say, hey, take the object and use this field as a caption field, and I'm going to present all the accounts to the users and so on, right? All right, so this is how you will kind of author the or create your survey or form, and then you can preview it here quickly, right? So I can preview it here that this is how it will look, because I haven't assigned to somebody. The merge field is not replaced here, but you can see the preview, and you can go to the next question and see how it will look to your customer, your audience or participants. When you are previewing, you can preview in the different form factors like the mobile phone or tablet kind of things, and get make sure that the design is good kind of thing. There is an overall design thing here, so I can go in here and do my overall survey design and layout, like branding and font color and navigations and so on. So I'll skip some of those things because I can cover some other stuff. Right. So this is how you will kind of build your survey and design it. Now let's go in here, the existing survey, right? So this is my existing survey, which has better branding and coloring and whatever, right? So if I do the preview of this, you will see interesting. Oh, the question dependency somebody modified. Yeah. So we have a question dependency kind of thing. So where you can kind of say that, hey, if somebody answers to this question, I want to show or hide this another question, right? Now, let's say the answer to this question, how did we do for today? And if you say equals very satisfied, then I'm going to branch to this question. Asking the open text question, open-ended text questions based on the condition. Now, one of the key thing is, because we are native, I can branch based on the Salesforce data. So I can say, hey, if my so-and-so field, let's say the country contains US, then I'm going to make this branching, right? So you can look at your recipient's data in the Salesforce and do the branching. This type of capability, the native applications can provide you easily versus non-native application, as well as native applications will not break versus non-native might break because of the connectivity and whatever the integration point breaking and so on, right? All right, so going back to the survey. So now once you have built the survey, you previewed, you designed, you think that it looks good, you can send your survey, right? So I can send the survey, and the way we let you send the survey is different ways. You can send the survey, you pick a link and send it, or you can upload emails or type in emails and send the survey, right? You can select context from the Salesforce, right? So we let you select context different ways and so on. You can post the survey on your Slack channel, right? So you can create the Slack channel and put it on survey. So if you want to do an employee survey and you have a channel for employee, you can put it there and so on. You can generate a QR code and post the QR code, and that's how the raffle thing, I put it the QR code, which is our survey. You will see that if you are filling out, right? You can pick any type of Salesforce object record and then send the survey for that the object record, right? And that record will become a subject for your survey kind of thing, right? So you can send the survey different ways, and then let's see the example of the survey. So this is how you send the manually, but you can also send survey automatically. So if I go to my cases, and if I look at this case, so you can utilize Salesforce flow to automate the survey dispatch, right? That, hey, when the case is closed, send the survey, and it will pick up the survey. You call the flow action, send survey from SurveyVista to send the survey, right? So here I have configured that survey, and let's say I'm going to, so before I close it, you can see here the currently CSAT score is 2, NPS is 0, and then bunch of things here, right? And then there are no surveys right now because the last one I did, I deleted kind of thing, right? But let's say I close the case and I can say send survey, right? I'm sorry, the case is closed. So once the case is closed, if I go here, you can see that based on the flow configured, it triggered the survey to the case contact. And if I go in my email, you can see I received the survey in my email. Now again, we use standard Salesforce Lightning or classic email support, so you can design the email the way you like for your business branding and so on, right? And from here, I can start responding to the survey. Now, once I start responding from the email, it captures the data. So even if as a survey recipient, if I abandon this survey right now, the data is already captured in the Salesforce. So at least the most important question which you embedded in your email is captured, right? So I can at least get some level of insights, right? But then going back here, I can respond to this survey, whatever way I like. And I can say, I'm going to select the 10, and I'll say that, hey, product is great, and service team is knowledgeable or something. And I can submit the survey. So one thing we have, it is a response mapping, like to mention, right? So it will automatically update my case record with my latest feedback, right? So anybody who is analyzing the feedback data, they don't need to go to the SurveyVista. They can look at the case, and you can have the reports built on the case and so on. And we have this thank you and the redirection functionality and so on. So you can take users to your destination once they finish the survey, right? But let's go back here. All right. So if I go back here, actually, sorry, that was the survey. So let's go back. Actually, not here. It was on the different screen. So if I go back and refresh my case, so this was my previous value. But if I reload my case record, you can see that automatically my CSAT and NPS question scores are transferred here. It brought my open-ended comment here, right? And then we have the sentiment analysis. So it ran the sentiment analysis, and earlier it was negative, and now it turned out into a positive based on the open-ended question tags. So that's how your end users will receive the survey and how they can respond, and you can build the automation, right? Now, once the survey is done, so before I get into the next step, like once somebody fills out the survey, like you can get the data automatically transferred there. But if you want to do an aggregated analytics and learn insights and do something on it, how do you do that? Let me get to it in a minute. Before that, let me show you a couple of the surveys we have built kind of as a sample. So you can see this is one type of survey where it's a single page survey, and it is in a different language. So we do support multi-languages and so on. This is another example where we build the survey in multi-language and all, and they have this the landing page where the information is or some landing page message is built in. I can select the different languages here when I am responding. So one of the key things, we also support the right to left languages, and I can go and respond to this and submit this survey, right? And this is another survey where there is a nice landing page, and there is the action button which says let's do it or let's begin survey and so on. We also have something like auto advance. So depending upon type of questions, you can do auto advance and so on, right? So the different ways you can design it, right? Your surveys. Now going back, right? So let's say I was in this sample survey. So once you have the survey data in, right, how do you get insights? How do you act on that insight? So one of the things we have, it is analyze. So here we give you quick insights that, hey, what is your aggregated NPS score? What is your aggregated CSAT average score, and so on? What are your the response metrics kind of thing, like how many surveys you send, how many you received, what is your response rate, and so on. And then below that, if you go, you will see the individual question level stuff and so on, right? Now, I talked about showing you our App-Exchange reviews and all, right? So we pride in our reviews. So this is our App-Exchange review data we brought in as a survey responses. So you can see when we last synced with those data, we had like 168 reviews. We got 5 average score, and I can see the drill down. So you can see all of them have completed, and then you see most of them are high score, and only one is a medium and one is a low score kind of thing we got, right? And then you can see the sentiment insight. So when you do an App-Exchange review for an app, you put open-ended comments. So here is what we generated the sentiment, right? So everything is pretty much positive. Well, one of the things we also provide is advanced insights, we call it, or advanced sentiment analytics. So if you drill down to your sentiment insights, you can see further insights, and you can see how the responses are or sentiment is trending over time, right? So how many people are putting comments, we give you the word map so you can see that which are the words utilized in those open-ended responses and all. And here you will see like what word keywords or entities are utilized, and they are utilized in positive sense versus negative. So you can see here people are saying, oh, the team is great, right? So it is utilized this many times in there. And somebody is talking about product, and you can see it is utilized 95% time, 95 time in a positive sense, and then few times in a neutral sense, and so on, right? So you get a deeper insights on the sentiments you collected on an open-ended question, right? So that's how we let you analyze your survey data with built-in analytics. Here we also have a tabular report, we call it, so you can see the whole survey responses in a single row. So this is one review, this is another review, and so on, right? You can of course export them into different things and so on. And then we let you build Salesforce reports and dashboards, because the data is sitting right in your Salesforce. You can build Salesforce reports and dashboards to analyze this data, like just to give you an example of this, right? So this is a CSAT dashboard we have built in, and we do provide bundled dashboards and reports. So you can build this type of dashboards using the survey data you collect, right? So that gives you kind of a high level on how SurveyVista can help you build the surveys or forms, distribute surveys and forms, collect the data, understand and analyze. Now, one of the step in that process is acting on the data. So we have this response mapping thing. Actually, let's open the existing survey, this one. So we have something called response mapping, right? So we let you take the response and take action on that response. So if you see here in response mapping, it is saying that, hey, I'm going to create a task when somebody is saying that, hey, they are not feeling great about our product or services, it's neutral or less, right? Then it is going to create a task and put certain things on the task record and assign that task to somebody. You can do similarly here. You can see it is updating the case fields, right? So you can say, hey, when somebody responds to the survey, take the answer to this question and put it on this field of the case record associated with the response, and so on, right? So the response mapping lets you act on the response by configuring the response mapping rules, which will take the survey data and create or update your underlying Salesforce records. There are a lot of other functionality here. We have something called advanced notification. This one will let you notify your team members on responses, right? So you don't have to build your own flows and so on. Of course, you can create a flow to do the similar things and so on, right? So a lot of advanced functionalities are there. So I'll stop here and then cover a couple of slides, and then we can go in Q&A. All right, so that gave you a kind of a good idea on what the SurveyVista is and our platform. We have few advanced functionalities which I haven't displayed, but we have something called SurveyVista workflow, right? It's basically multi-stage. We call it data review, correction, and approval workflow, right? So you can send the survey to somebody. They fill out, your team can review it, put some comments, send it back. Once the survey is complete as you expected, then you can have a checklist-based review and so on, right? So there are a variety of use cases you can do, like data review correction, grant application reviews and approvals, and different types of assessments and so on. We have something called records lifecycle maps, right? So you can write a flow to trigger a survey on certain event in Salesforce, like case closed. Instead of creating flows, you can use our record lifecycle maps to achieve similar things, which can give control to the business users, and they don't come and bugging admin that, hey, I need this and I need that kind of thing. They can create their own survey triggering logic. We have the quizzing functionality, so you can configure survey as a quiz with a variety of quiz-related configurations, so like giving options to retry. Once somebody completes the quiz, you can give their standing that, hey, 100 people responded, average score is 90, but you got 20 score or so, right? And this is a little bit about the roadmap. So key thing, what we do it is we listen, we learn, and we innovate with our customer, right? So most of the or majority of the new features we built it based on the customer feedback. Like 60-70% of our roadmap is driven by customer feedback, and other 30% we do research the market trends, the technology trends, and we kind of add items in our roadmap. Right, so a lot of things we are adding lately are AI powered things. I talked about the automation and record lifecycle maps. Of course, we also provide new features on collaborations and efficiency. Like we are working on feature where the survey metrics interface you saw, that could be plugged inside your record, right? And then whatever surveys are related to that record, you will get the same level of insight using our record metrics interface in a record itself, right? Yeah. So those kind of things we do in the roadmap. We have it available free also. There is a free edition. You get started, and when you are ready to move on the paid edition, you can of course use paid edition, which is appropriate for your business. These are the starting price for 100 employees and less organization size. And we can talk to you if you once you start using it, and if you want to really go into a paid edition. I'm going to skim through these slides, but Native will make you AI ready, right? Because the data is sitting in your Salesforce, it's real time. The data is corrected right at the source and so on, right? It gives you unified insights because it's in there, like I talked about. So that's the key message about why the native data collections and what is SurveyVista. The few key takeaways I would mention is native means it is secure, governed, and compliant by design, right? You inherit those things. No code, you don't need to do a coding for utilizing the native applications, right? The unified single view of your all the data you collect as well as your existing data, and it is AI ready data, so you can start utilizing the data meaningfully in your AI automation. All right, so that's about today's talk. We have a few QR codes here for SurveyVista Academy. You can go and start with the free community edition. Follow me on LinkedIn. So if you have any questions, of course, we will try to answer as many as we know. But if you have further questions or you want to talk, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And last but not least, enter to win, and we'll do a draw here, right here, right? All right, so thanks. Let's look at the question. If anybody has any question, type in.
Thank you so much for this insightful presentation and demo. For the questions, I'd like to first hand over to our kind co-host, Rodrigo from Mexico, who had several questions. So maybe you want to first ask yours. It's up to you to decide how to handle.
Okay.
Well, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Also, I entered a bit late, but okay. I was seeing Rajesh. Thank you for your demo. It was awesome. This is a great product, and
thanks.
I was wondering for the multi-language that not just me asked about it. When you prepare a survey, would you have to prepare that same survey on different languages, or is it auto translated or something like that? As far as I can see, you just selected the language.
Yeah, so the good question. So I did not show you the authoring side for the multi-language. So currently you author in let's say your primary language. Then we have a easy interface where you can export into an Excel format and then translate it and import it in other languages. We have a roadmap item which we will take it in our next release. Our next release is coming out in January or end of January, but after that we have an item where we will do the auto translation with Google Translate kind of thing, so you don't have to even translate your survey content.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you had other questions, Rodrigo?
Hi, Rajesh sir. Tarun this side.
Hi, Tarun.
Actually, I have hi sir, and hi Rani. Sir, actually, I have asked the same question regarding the language, and then I have asked the question. You have already given the demo, and just now you have also shared about the language option. So that question is already clear, sir. Another question which I would like to ask you is this: just now in demo you have showed advanced notification. So so suppose if a customer uh, filled a survey and he wrote that he has a bad experience. So can we make the bad experience as a keyword so that whenever a customer submit a CV, submit a feedback containing the word bad experience, so that automatically there is a alert gone to the manager that the customer has shared a
Yeah.
survey in which he has mentioned the keyword bad experience.
Yeah. So the advanced notification will let you configure that. So you can say, hey, if my question response contains bad experience, I'm going to notify to my account owner, right?
Yeah.
And you can use which email template you want to notify. We also have a way to notify on a Slack channel there. So you can say, hey, I'm going to notify on Slack channel that, hey, you guys, we got a bad review, and go and talk to them.
Yes.
Ideally, you want to do it is you want to not just look at the contents bad experience, but maybe do a sentiment analysis and drive it based on like positive, negative, neutral sentiment. So if somebody uses the different terms to communicate that they are not satisfied, you can still get it notified and all. Yeah.
So we have that option in the advanced notification.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, Tarun.
Yeah. Concerning Johannes' question about file uploads, we have earlier seen that that is possible. So that has already been answered within the scope of the event. There is, however, a twist to Johannes' question where he asks, do you provide any security around files? What would you say to that?
That's an interesting question. So currently, to be frank, no, we don't do anything. You upload, and if, based on your Salesforce configuration, it will let you upload or not, right? And what you configure in SurveyVista, that you can SurveyVista, let's say you can configure upload .pptx and .docx or what doc, right? So we will let you upload those two types of files. We don't do any security on there. If you have additional security configured on Salesforce, when it is uploaded, it can trigger something else and check it. We are considering to kind of partner with, like, there are a few security tools out there like 𝗕secure and a couple of others, and maybe partner with one of them so we can immediately trigger the virus scan or the scan of those files, and then if it reports an issue, then we can stop importing it or something, uploading it. But yeah, currently there's nothing. Thanks.
Yeah, makes sense. Rodrigo, do you maybe want to answer your remaining questions quickly?
Sure. Well, I was wondering also about, I see that you have had several industries all over and non-profits. I'm asking because I'm into the educational institutions industries. Have you had any experience on SurveyVista with the education institutions?
Yeah. So it's accessible application. We do support most of the 𝗙𝘂𝗃𝗃, and I think there is another standard also, right? So it satisfies for most of them. Some of the question types, like appointment question, we haven't made it accessible right now, right? So most of the basic question types are definitely accessible. Couple of advanced question types, and especially the Salesforce data question, maybe some aspect of that are accessible. We are still working on the accessibility for that. But for most of them, we have many organizations, like we just signed up with, I think, Blind Dog of America or something. I forgot the exact name of the organization. They there was one of the key things they had was accessibility aspect of the application, right? So we worked with them. They found few issues and we fixed it. So our philosophy is that we have 80% covered, 20% may not be, and as customer finds it, or as we work with the new customers, and if they need additional question types to be accessible, which we are not supporting right now, maybe we work with them and we fix it and advance it, kind of thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. There is also a question on field masking. Maybe that has already been clarified.
Yeah, the field
How
masking.
do you mask a field and how do you go about it?
Yeah, the field masking is you can configure your question that, hey, mask the fields when somebody enters, right? So we, instead of making whatever user typing visible, we mask the data, and that way it's not visible to the user, right?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. There is also a question I'm seeing from Rodrigo about Marketing Cloud connection. Could you briefly ask that, maybe?
Yes, so Marketing Cloud, we do have many customers using with the Marketing Cloud, right? What we have right now is, you saw so each survey will get a link, and then we have something called URL parameters and all. So you can take the base survey link, and with the Marketing Cloud information you have, like contact ID or whatever other data, you can dynamically generate the URL with additional parameters and use that URL as a survey URL in your Marketing Cloud notifications, right? So we have customers using with Pardot, account engagement, and so on, right, using the same technology. One thing we are considering right now, if not definitely planned in the near future, like in not a next release, is we will probably give you some additional API you can call directly, right, from Marketing Cloud to initiate the survey. Like currently you can do with the flow that, hey, when case is closed, send a survey, right? So if something happens in the Marketing Cloud, if you want to send a survey but don't want to use the URL building and URL parameters, you will be able to use API. That's in the plan, but date is not defined.
All right. Thank you. Because I mean, I know Marketing Cloud is like going to be merged not that far into the core.
So the new
so,
Marketing Cloud is a Salesforce based thing, right? So you will get all the things what you saw today out of the box, right? So we don't have to probably build those APIs. And there is a lot of information available on our Academy knowledge base about how to use with Pardot and all. There are articles and all, right? So, but sorry, Rodrigo, you were saying something more.
No, just that. That's awesome, and thank you. That's what I just want to use with Pardot. So, thank you.
Okay, good. And your other question, I think we are running out of time, but your other question about education institution, yes, we have several education institutes using us. There is a Toronto Metropolitan University using us, Florida University using us. There is a couple of universities in Canada using us. So there are probably about 10, 15 education institutes are using out of 80 plus non-profit we have.
Yeah, thank you. Great to hear. So if we have further questions, I would ask you to take them up with Rajesh directly, reaching out to him on LinkedIn or by email.
Yep. Connect with the LinkedIn, and then we can go on the email for those questions if you need.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Maybe Rodrigo, you want to say goodbye to our audience?
All right. Let me. So this is the survey you filled out. I don't know how many of you filled out, but if I go and analyze here, and so we have one feature where we can do a random drawing out of the people who filled out the survey. So looks like these are the people who filled out the survey, and we have this draw winners thing here, and I can say, hey, draw winners. How many winners we want to draw, right? So since we have the two winners, I'm going to draw them, and here are the two people who got selected: 𝗙cie_𝗀𝗁𝗁 and 𝗱𝗲. So congratulations to both of you. You will get an email from me with your gift card link, and enjoy your winning, and do whatever you want to have, or whatever you like for the fun. If you don't hear from me, connect on LinkedIn, because I'm assuming you typed in your email correctly, but if by mistake, if the email is not typed in correctly, then you might not get my email. So if you don't hear from me in the next day, just feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone. I enjoy speaking with you guys. I hope you learned something. I definitely learned a few things that accessibility is important, right? Especially in the nonprofit, and we will keep improving it. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much for doing this with us. Maybe a final word, Rodrigo, before we hang up.
Just to thank you, Rajesh. This is amazing. It's an amazing product, and I hope all people over here. I'm representing Latin America, and they have to know about this. And thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Rodrigo.
Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.